Intel Pentium E2140, 1.60 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Wolfdale 3M, Pentium Dual Core, 45 nm process technology. Intel Pentium E6800, 3.33 GHz, 2 MB L2, 1066 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E6700, 3.20 GHz, 2 MB L2, 1066 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E6600, 3.06 GHz, 2 MB L2, 1066 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E6500, 2.93 GHz, 2 MB L2, 1066 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E6300, 2.80 GHz, 2 MB L2, 1066 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5800, 3.20 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5700, 3.00 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5500, 2.80 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5400, 2.70 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5300, 2.60 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E5200, 2.50 GHz, 2 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Pentium E2210, 2.20 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Celeron, 64-bit core microarchitecture. Allendale, Celeron, 64-bit core microarchitecture, 65 nm process technology. Variants Intel Celeron E1600, 2.40 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron E1500, 2.20 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron E1400, 2.00 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron E1300, 1.80 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Does it exist? Intel Celeron E1200, 1.60 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Wolfdale 3M, Celeron, 64-bit core microarchitecture, 45 nm process technology. Variants Intel Celeron E3500, 2.70 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron E3400, 2.60 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB.
Yes, let's look my videos. So that's many hundreds of CPUs, and this is the i5 8th generation, the i5 Intel Core i5 8300. This is 4th generation behind, but we got many hundreds more that's even older. Yes, this is an old computer. It's 4 years old. You cannot really play computer games on this anymore. But of course you can go on your net banking. You can go to internet and watching YouTube and Netflix. Probably you could do that many years. Yes, I hope not I destroy. I have to remember when I'm getting something, I not just take the CPU. If I get a CPU inside the sockets, I have to record when I take it out, so I know how it was sitting. So I don't know if this is working or not. It's because I'm uploading 10 different kinds of videos. So I have to watch this video I did record many hours ago. It's still uploading. So everything is a little bit. Then I eat my hot food, my soup, and record that. And I made a video about Ukraine. So I need to take a look what's going on here. Yes, that's the English one, part 52. Part 53. That's one of this video from here. Let's put it online. 53. $54. 55. 56. 57. And I have to check the number of folders. I need to do this. I have nobody do this, so I'm sorry. I had to just do this like 5 minutes. Because that's part of my YouTube. I have to get it online. Yes, 57, part 57. Then I need to add it to my playlist. I have to do it same time or I forget it. So 53, 4, 5, 6 and 7. That was the English video. Then I need to look the Danish. Yes, one of the videos not ready, but let's just put everything online because I start to get tired. I not remember, normally when I put my video online I do it in the timeline I record, but I cannot do it now, just put everything online. So it'll be a big mess There's sometime I record like 7 hours ago, some of the record half an hour ago. I'm just tired. I like to get it public. So that was 10 video. Yes, and I have another playlist with my Danish video about Ukraine, this war. I do every day. This is day 75. Yes, this is the day 75 after Russia have attacked Ukraine, and I did a video from the day 1. But I'm close to forget it because I do all this, I keep forgetting, but we got something there. Something is uploading there. Yes, that was a video, that was part 98 of my Dennis, I forgot. Yes, let's put it public. Yes, then I need one more. Yes, but that was old day from Saturday. That was old video from Saturday. Yes, should we close? Let's close for today. Yes, this video I record is of course is about I'm trying to read this loud, this PDF document, but the videos like this, like I'm talking, I can take a break like 10 minutes if I like to do that and talk. No, the video is not just about, I just record this and stop the video. It's not what this video is about, just to record and put on my YouTube channel. Because I like to read it. I have downloaded all this PDF. Because I like to read it. So I got some cheap cola. But I did fall on my bicycle. So this, when I open this will like explode. Not this one, but this tree one. I did fall on my, because this plastic bag on my bicycle, my wheel on my bicycle, it was like 10 kilos, so when I get off my bicycle I did fall. And because I don't eat so much food, my body is like a rubber band a little bit, because I try to lose a lot of weight. So I just got up, then I have this plastic bag with 10 kilos. On my, I don't know what you call it, bicycle, when you control the bicycle wheel. I have a plastic bag and then, then I did fall. So I should not do that, I should not put so much heavy weight on my, my bicycle. So I'll not do that again. Because I start to get old, I have a problem to keep the balance on my bicycle. When I'm tired and I got stress and it's hot, then I get a little bit dizzy. I had problems to to do the balance on my bicycle. I never had that before. Yes, I'll talk about that in the morning. That's because I'm always sleepy, because I never get enough sleep, because I just get up in the morning. I just get up before 9 a.m. Even I sleep 3 a.m. in the night or 4 or 1 because if I don't do that, my life will be like that. I will be awake the whole night and sleep the whole day. So this is why I should think about now. Put my alarm clock is on 8:30, but later I got up 8:45, but some months ago I did start to get up 8:30. That's not early, but I'm not going up 7 a.m. Why I should get up 7 in the morning? I have nothing to do. So the alarm clock is on. And I just get up there. The alarm clock is ringing 8:30. Then I'll try to get up before 9. But some nights I only sleep like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours, and that's not enough. And some nights I cannot sleep at all. Then I just get up. I'm not say okay, we just take the alarm clock off. I'm just getting up. Then I walk around the whole day super sleepy, and then I maybe just sleep 3 or 4 hours next night. So yes, but I do this because I like it. I remember some of this CPU names I remember. So, but we look at this later when I finish reading. We go to the Wikipedia webpage. Go to the Wikipedia and have a look in the end of the video. And there's a lot of documents I need to download about all these chips, but I can do that. We have to. I like to read about all this. I have the Pentium, but I don't have the Pentium 2 and 3, and the Exxon. There's a lot of CPUs. I don't have download anything. So let's just continue. I do this because I like to read this.
Intel Celeron E3300, 2.50 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron E3200, 2.40 GHz, 1 MB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Conroe L. Celeron, 64-bit core microarchitecture, 65 nm process technology variants Intel Celeron 450, 2.20 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron 440, 2.00 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron 430, 1.80 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron 420, 1.60 GHz, 512 KB L2, 800 MHz FSB. Intel Celeron 220, 1.20 GHz, 512 KB L2, 533 MHz FSB. Conroe CL, Celeron, 64-bit core microarchitecture, 65 nm process technology LGA 771 package. Variants Intel Celeron 445, 1.87 GHz, 512 KB L2, 1000